Hello friends, welcome. Did you know we are halfway to Halloween? So welcome to the halfway to Halloween hop, and we are going to have some alien fun with some Halloween twists. So let's go ahead and change our camera view and get started. All right, so here is my card today, and it has a Halloween greetings, and turn this, and we're going to turn. And we've got another little alien on the inside, and he is saying peace out. So this is, I think, would be a fun Halloween card for a teenager. And then when we open it up, we've got our swirling stars on the inside and a little place where you can just say happy Halloween and love grandma if you're the grandma in your family, or to whoever you're sending it to. So let's get started making this and take a look at the products that we're going to use. So I started with the black hole stamp set, and we're going to use the little fella with the peace sign and this little fella coming out of his hole, as well as the little swirling galaxy over here. We're going to die cut one of the, what's a twinkle scribble die, the twinkle scribble die, and when you cut that out, you're going to save all the little stars. Don't throw those out. We're going to use the magic wheel. Now, when you purchase the magic wheel, it comes in a much bigger Whimsy Stamps envelope, like strip that's taller. But I accidentally ripped my package when I was taking it out, so I had to put it in something else. So I have it in one of my die envelopes. We're going to use one sheet of the Nebula paper, the slimline paper, and we're specifically going to use this one with the greens and golds. This is the stamp set that goes with the word happy, and it is called Happy Sayings. And we're going to use the Halloween. It's in here somewhere. It says Halloween and greetings. So those are the two that we're going to be using. Yeah, here's greetings, here's Halloween. I knew they were in there. And then the Magic Wheel stamp set. Now, if you wanted to, you could use one of these fun designs on the inside of the wheel with your alien, or I just used the turn this, and you can use the arrow, but if you wanted to add some more details on the inside, these would be really fun stamps to do that. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start here with our magic wheel, and in the magic wheel, the dies that we have, we're going to use this one, which is the largest one right here with the stitch decorative edge. You're going to die cut that out of our piece of slimline paper. Then this one, you're going to die cut out of white paper, and that's going to give you just a circle with a cutout slit in it. Then our two little pieces here, the one that's got the curved ending, go ahead and cut that out 3 times. And I have found if you do it 3 times and stack them, it makes your little handle a little sturdier. Then the piece that is square on each end, you're going to need one of those. And then this piece right here, I went ahead and I cut it out in yellow so that you would be able to see it when I show you what to do with it. But you can cut it out in white, or it's not going to show, whatever color you wanted to cut it out in. But you want to use the same style, the same heaviness of paper on all your pieces. All right, so that's all we're going to need out of this set. Set that down here. And the first thing we're going to do is on this piece right here. So all of these we're going to go ahead and set aside for now. And we're going to work with this one right here. All right, when you stamp your image on this piece, this is the piece that's going to be inside your wheel. Put the little line like this upways. Let's see. I have to think about it every time so I don't get it confused. Yes. Okay, just like that. And now let's go to our stamp set and pull out the images that we want to put on the inside. I don't know if I've ever told you, but 2 of my children are pretty severely dyslexic, and I think they get it from their mama because sometimes I just have to really think through things to make sense of it. So I'm going to put him kind of at an angle. So his head is kind of coming in at an angle there, but you can easily see his hands. Okay. And I'm going to stamp him in a lime green color. I'm using Archival Ink Vivid Chartreuse, but really any lime green color would work. Go ahead and stamp that a couple times. All right, now I'm going to use a yellow color, and I'm using the Sunset from the Archival Ink. And I'm going to stamp this fun kind of swirly galaxy over here beside him. In fact, I may do it up and down ways this time. He's going to be stained green now because I use the Archival ink, but that's okay because he's a little alien and green works for him. I think having your alien stained green is okay. So I'm going to use the yellow now and go ahead and stamp that little galaxy there. Now, if you wanted to use any of the other kind of stamps, you just want to keep your image kind of up and down like this. This is going to be your orientation. But of course, you can stamp whatever you want on the inside here. Have some fun with it. There's lots of fun expressions and things on our stamp set, and I am going to write the words "Peace out" as if they have come to give Halloween greetings, and then it's heading back to space. So peace out. There we go. Now you don't want to get your words, whatever words you're going to use, you don't want to get them too close to this top left-hand edge of the slit, because that is where we're going to put our little handle. So if your word is too close, the handle may cover up some of your words. So that's just something to be mindful of as you're doing this. And we'll go ahead and just stamp that in some VersaFine Clair so it's nice and dark. And we are, for the moment, done with this piece. So let's go ahead and set that aside. The next thing we're going to need is just a piece of white cardstock, and I have cut this down. Let me measure it for you real quickly. I have cut it down to 3 3/4 by 5. And we're going to place that right here. And we're going to go ahead, and this is going to be our card front. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp our little fella coming out of the manhole. We're going to put him right down here. And then we're going to go to our words and go ahead and get the Halloween greetings. I kind of wish if I'd had like Greetings Earthling or something like that, but I always think of aliens saying greetings. I guess that's just from old movies, right? All right, now I'm going to take this circle and set it right here because we want to make sure we have our image placed so that we have room for our circle. You know, you don't want to get to the end ready to put this down and realize it's going to hang over the top of your words. So another thing just to watch out for, and I am just going to kind of center that a little bit above his head. All right. All And again, I'm going to stamp this in black, the VersaFine. All right, I'm going to do this fella just one more time. I did get a little heavy over there, but that's all right. There we go. All right. There it is. I think that will make us finished with our stamping. And I just accidentally dumped out my stars. I had my stars over here in a little tray, and they're so teeny tiny I don't want to lose them because we're going to need those in a moment. No matter where I put them, I tend to knock them over. Okay. All right, we're ready to move on to the next step. Set these things out of the way to be cleaned up later. Now, while you're doing your cutting and things, if you wanted to get a piece of lime green paper, and this one I trimmed it down to 4 by 5 1/4. And that's just going to give us a nice lime green edge around our paper. I just thought that added a little extra pop in there. I liked that. So the next thing we're going to do is use some inks on our main page here. So I'm going to start with the Twisted Citron. Oops. And we're just going to add Twisted Citron all the way around here. Now, up in here, it doesn't matter too awful much because our wheel is going to cover that all up. But down here at the bottom especially, you can see I left some light, just barely adding the Twisted Citron where my alien head was, and I let it get pretty light around him. So that's just something you can do to kind of highlight him. And I do that just by running my thing very lightly. All right, a little bit more up in here, right down on the sides. All right, so now that we have our Twisted Citron down, we're going to come in with some black soot. And you don't need very much black soot. A little bit goes a long way. But we're going to blend that in to our Twisted Citron. You know, when you're making a night sky, sometimes you do this and you do put it on pretty heavy. But I didn't want to go too heavy because I still wanted to have my Twisted Citron glow. But I did like the depth of having that black soot blended in. It gave it a more spacey feel. Down here along the bottom especially, I don't want to get into my alien. I might come back with just a little more. I'm not putting any more ink on. I'm just putting a little more there around the manhole. Or whatever kind of hole he's coming up out of. Okay. That takes care of that step. Okay. Now, on my original here, you can see I have splattered it with some gold paint. And to do that, I took a sticky note and cut it into a circle and just put it over the top of him so that my alien didn't end up with splatter all over his face. But other than that, I went ahead and splattered the whole thing. I'm going to skip that step today in the interest of time because my paint takes a while to dry and I don't want to have it smeared all over. But that's a really fun step. If you have any kind of spritzer spray that is gold, any of those kinds of things that you'd like to add on is a great thing to do right now at this step. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and glue that right onto our lime green paper. And then we are ready to, oh, you know what? I just realized we forgot something. I'll glue this down. All right, I'll set that aside for now. This little piece, we're gonna add a little bit of our twisted citron and black soot to this piece as well. And I don't think I have to add any more ink. I think I'll be able to just use what's already on my brush. Just add some onto there. And same thing, just a little bit around the edges. All right, now you may have noticed this fella, I didn't like his bright green eyes. I liked his skin being green, but our other little alien, he's not green, but he has the black eyes. So I came in with a black marker and I colored in his eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. There we go. I thought the black eyes just made him look like a cooler alien. Okay, now for our handle, let's start there. I want you to set this piece right in front of you with the slit going straight up and down. We need this one with the slit going straight up and down. And then we need this little one, same way. Well, our square one here. So what we're working on are the three that are like this. I'm going to go ahead and grab the stamp that says turn here. I'm sorry, it says turn this. That's what it says. And on one of our three pieces, go ahead and stamp the turn this. Get it on there? Yeah. All right, now you're going to glue all three of these together. When I just did one layer of paper, I found that it wanted to tear off. But when I gave it a little more sturdiness by stacking them, I was able to turn my wheel without any problems. So I suppose if you were using, you know, a chipboard or a thicker paper to begin with, you could skip this step, but I just had regular cardstock. I suppose it might be 110, it might be 80, I'm not sure. It's just regular cardstock. Okay. So the most important thing when you're building your wheel is to know where the orientation of your image is. So we're going to start with it up, down, and I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to turn it just a little bit to the left. Okay, so our little slit is going this way. Now this piece, I'm going to glue that right here so that the base of this little slit in this one lines up with the little slit in that one. And we're just going to glue it right on there just like that. And you need to be able to see the light through your little slit, okay? Like you want that to line up perfectly. See how that is? You want that to be able to see through. When you're putting your glue on, you want to put it fairly thin to make sure that it doesn't ooze over. But you do want it all covered so that everything gets glued down with nothing that pulls up. I'm going to have to lean my head over the top of it here just to make sure I get it lined up well. Okay. And these kinds of things, the more exact you are, the better chance of it all just working without any problems. All right, so now we can turn him back over, and we've got our, I'm trying to think of the right word. I can't think of it. Okay, hold it like this, and the little alien head guy on the right-hand side, you're going to tuck him into the little slot. Okay, so it's going to go like this. All right, so tuck his little head inside. Now this side, the piece outside, we're going to add a little bit of glue, and let me get a pencil. I think it'll, in fact, let me do it this way. Take it out of your thing for now. I think this will be better. On this side right here, I'm going to add some dashed lines where I want you to put the glue. All right. Now you can see my dashed lines, they don't go all the way down to the bottom, nor do they go all the way to the top. And when you apply this, we're only putting this one side down on the glue. So part of it is actually going to cover up, you know, about half of it is going to hang over onto this other side as well. So, you know, to figure this out, watching the video online, I had to watch it over and over to figure out these things as she was doing it. So hopefully, I'm telling you, hopefully, so that it'll be a bit easier for you. We'll see. Okay. I think it needs to be just slightly above the end of the hole. I can't remember. That we're going to do it like this. Okay. All right. Now, I didn't glue the side with our alien head. You see how that's that? And this is the side that I'm going to tuck in to our wheel. Just making sure I don't have, if you have any kind of glue oozing over on your handle to where it could stick to this, you want to go ahead and use your powder tool and tap that and make sure that glue has no stickiness. But I'm pretty good. I don't feel anything oozing. All right, now we're going to tuck our alien head side into the slit and turn it so that the handle is at like a 45-degree angle here. Okay, like a right angle going this way. All right, and now you're going to turn it over. Sorry, turn it over, leave your handle just like that. Now right here against this edge, you're going to take this one and lay it down. All right, you're not gluing it, you're just laying it down. The only thing we're going to do is tape it to this piece. It's got nothing to do with this piece. You're just going to tape it to this piece. So hopefully that all makes sense. And I'm going to use just a small piece of score tape without taking the backing off. Now you can use Scotch tape, you can use, you just want it to be a nice thin piece of tape that's going to hold. All we're doing is taping this yellow one butted up against the piece with the alien on it on the back side. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. These things can be a little tricky. And where I find them to be tricky is when the person teaching it changes the orientation and you don't realize it. And especially on this one, it's easy to lose track of where the slit is and where the other side is. So hopefully I've explained it in a way that will help. Okay. Now, once you get that down, this little piece right here should easily lift up and down. Like nothing is sticking to this part. Okay, all we did was stick it to the alien part. So see, it turns easily. Okay. All right. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and close it up. And there you go. Now, depending on where you glued this, is how far it's going to close. You might have a little gap right here, and some may be bigger than others. That has to do with where we glued this on, and I thought I had mastered it, but mine still has a little gap, but that's okay with me. Okay, we're going to turn it over, have it completely closed. Nope. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Have it closed and turn it over. And now we're going to take some foam tape the real narrow foam tape, and we're going to run it along the inside, right where the dotted lines are. Okay, and I'm going to start right here. And keeping it on the dotted line, we're going to run that all the way around. As my head in the camera, hopefully you can see okay. Just going to run that around. All right, now see our little yellow piece? If that yellow piece is sticking up where the dotted line is, we're going to have to trim that off, or at least I am, because mine sticks up a little too far. It just needs to be below where your foam is. I'm going to go ahead and remove this part. And I'm going to take this great little tool from This Calls for Confetti. I don't want to get it on the top of my foam. I just want to get it on the edge. So I'm going to carefully just run that along the edge of my foam to keep that from sticking to my wheel as it goes around. Okay. Now, if you don't have one of these and you're using you know, other powder tools, you'll want to make sure you leave your paper on. Mine fell off when I was going around, so that made it where I was glad I had that tool. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue onto my foam just to give me a little bit of wiggle room when I put it down. That'll also ensure that it sticks after I put that foam on there. All right, we're just going to position this right on the front of our card. Now, where you want the straight up and down to be is where the slit is, not where the turn this is, okay? Just center that in there. And if everything's been done right, we're going to have no problem turning this. Yay! Just turn it all the way around. Peace out, man. Okay, I like it. All right, it can get kind of hung up, so let's see. Yeah, there we go. It's turning pretty good. Pretty good. All right, now all these little stars that I saved out, I'm going to add those around my alien and just decorate my front. And I'm not going to put any up on here because we don't want anything that's going to foul up our spinning mechanism. Okay. All right, have a couple more, so I'm just going to add a few little ones around. I like to use them all. Oops. One more. All right, there's the front. The only thing we have left to do is our card base, which I went ahead and I cut a black card base. And I'm going to make this a top folding card. Okay, so let's see here. I'm pretty sure it's 5 1/4. Yes, it is. Okay. So I'm going to score it there at 5 1/4. Did I score that right? Sorry, it's 5 1/2. 5 1/2. Of course, an A2. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that's why I'm a creative person and not a math person, right? Okay, there we go. Put this part right on top. Once you get the hang of the process of making the reveal wheel or the magic wheel, it's really not hard at all, and it's actually very fun to use your dies in a creative way to kind of have that hidden message. Now on the inside, I'm going to have our star, and I cut a little white circle, if I can find what I did with it. It was just here a moment ago. There it is. All right, I just cut a small white circle that'll go inside, so we're going to glue that down. And this is just a place for you to write a message on the inside. All right. May have to come back and add more glue on this piece, but there you go. So the only difference in these two would be the splatter of the gold ink on the outside. But I thought this was such a fun way to use the reveal, or to use the magic wheel and make a Halloween card for the teenager in your life, or maybe an old hippie, either way. All right, I'm gonna switch this camera back. Thank you so much for being with me today. I hope you're really enjoying the Halfway to Halloween hop. Go ahead and leave a comment at each stop. There's a few of us, I think, that have made videos to go along with our IG post, and you can leave comments on the IG posts and on the videos, and a thumbs up, and the prize will be announced soon. All right, have a wonderful day, and thanks so much for being with me. Bye-bye.